This will be an informal video to emphasize on a marketing technique or marketing concept that isn't alien. It's just that someone requested this and I do want to give my 2 cents about this. This is an informal video. There will be a formal video that will go more into details about marketing and this particular concept again, but this one's going to be its own separate video where I do give some advice, opinions, and state some things that I've noticed or some things that people decide to send me and I want to just talk about it. So once again, this is an informal video talking about the concept of scarcity. The fact that if there's only a few items in the market on a particular thing, it can increase. It might increase in value. Now, emphasis on the might. Before I go any further with this video, note that this is just my advice, opinions, and all that jazz. If you do not agree with me, if you want to disagree or you don't want to watch it, then that is on you. I am to inform those who are playing with the market or those who want to know my opinion and some things they got to consider. So I'm going to give you guys what I have thought about and give you guys some mindsets, some factors you got to consider when it comes to playing with the market. Because understand that yes, you can have control over it, but at the same time you don't, because you're dealing with a bunch of other people, which means there's a bunch of human factors and unknown factors as well, such as the fact that Japanese PSO2 and global PSO2 are doing different things that aren't really the same. Like, there are differences. If you take your time and look at it, there are differences already pointed out in some of my other videos, like the video where I gave my opinion about the North America Battlepass. And they did release a Battlepass over here. It's called Missionpass over here in the Japanese PSO2. I have a different opinion about that, but at the same time, it's kind of mixed still in terms of the outfit. So let's go back on topic. Let me talk about this concept. Pretty much, if it's a low supply or there's no other way to get these particular items and you see only a few of these in the market in stocks, then yeah, you will have to deal with the price that they set, because how else are you gonna get them? So this person that sent me the screenshot wanted this video, so indirect shout out to you. I'm not going to say your name or the ship that you're on, just so you know, to keep the information on the down low. So yeah, this thing right here, this is a certain lobby action that we have over here in the Japanese PSO2. It did get a revival some months ago. This is pretty much like the T action, T lobby action, along with like the thing that you can eat as well. I can't remember the name of that particular item, but yeah, or the food. But this thing costs 472,500,000. All right, that's understandable, and I'll explain why I can understand why it's at that price. This one, on the other hand, it's more on what happened in the global sense. Now, if you want to correct me on what I was told, because this is what this person decided to tell me, if you want to add on to it or you want to explain it a bit more in the comments, go ahead and do so. But yeah, this particular outfit is in the billions. And it's not because of the fact that it's scarce and what it is. No, over here in the Japanese PS2, we have it too, but it's not that stupidly high. It's because of a particular function that kicked in over there in global, which I already gave my 2 cents about in that video when I was talking about the fresh shop and the Battlepass stuff. So let me talk about this one. So this one, I have that lobby action. It is, if I can find you, wherever you are. I kind of wish that I started to collect a bunch of lobby actions in the past. Like, now some of these prices are ridiculous, and I will show you some ridiculous prices with the market over here. Now I'm going a bit too far. Where are you? You are up. There we go. This thing right here. So this is the male variant of this lobby action, and then there will also be the female variant. So if you have it, great. If you got it at a cheap price, that's great on you. But as you can see from that screenshot, it's high up there, over there in global. Once again, I don't know what ship. Don't ask me what ship. It's just that this thing, I can understand why it's expensive, because if it had a unique way of getting it and now it's gone, and this is how much is left, if there's only 5 of them left, then what can you do? They can earn a profit from this because there's only 5 left in this ship on this market. They have the power to control whatever price that they can set it on. Now, obviously, if someone wants to withdraw it and then undercut the person that set it for 472,500,000, then that's on that individual. But you can get a profit off of this because it is limited. You increase the value because of its scarcity. There's only 5 of them. Over here in what, ship 2? on the Japanese PSO2 server, if I go into my Visa phone, or into the Visa phone and look for that particular item, it was like $293. It's not as much. Like, there's a 440 mil difference. This is only 32 mil. But I understand why the price is high up there. Over here, we had a revival. So a lot of people have this if they decide to invest in it. And not only that, some of these that are on sale have multiple copies. Like this one has 5 of them. So we had access to this, and we did get a revival, which plays a factor into the price, which means, yeah, it's not going to be as expensive over here in the Japanese PSO2 compared to over there in global, where you guys didn't really get a revival, and there's only a few now. So if you really want to get this and you're trying to collect all the lobby actions and you're trying to buy this one, it's going to be hard now just because it's expensive. You will need to farm and try to get it, unless global PSO2 does a revival scratch or a bunch of revivals here and there. But I cannot give you 100% certainty with what global is doing exactly, because yeah, they're still releasing a bunch of stuff. They're still playing catch up in terms of the cosmetics and stuff. And honestly, there's a lot of cosmetics. Like, you guys didn't even touch a fraction of all the stuff that we have yet, along with, well, I mean, maybe you did, especially with the Battlepass helping you guys out, but in terms of like the collab items especially, you guys barely made a dent in that, because we're getting a lot more over here in the Japanese PSO2 2 more, and it's just that there's a lot of collabs that you guys may or may not be able to get. For example, like the Freedom Wars collab, or 7-Eleven collab. Maybe they can try to do a 7-Eleven collab, but there's a lot of collabs that you can look into over here with the past information. I am gonna make a video trying to emphasize on all the different collabs that Japanese PS2 went through, but that's for a separate video. Pretty much, yeah, I understand why this is at a high price though, because once again, supply and demand. There's other factors that do play a factor into it, but yeah, it's the fact that there's only 5. So they do have control over the market. They do have control over those prices. If they want to compete against each other, start to undercut it and get it to be at a lower price, and that's on them. But if you really want it, guess what? You will have to deal with it. I did sell items that were around that price over here in the Japanese PS2. Like, there was only one item for this gravity pose that I did, or that I decided to invest in. Like this thing right here. Oh, nope. I think it's called Gravity Days. This thing? This is from that certain video game. There was only a couple of them on the market over here in on my ship. I think it's gone now. I think it's gone. Gravity manipulation. No, it's still here, but guess what? I sold mine, because I only had one copy of it. I sold mine around 500 mil. What I could have done was push it to 1 billion, and you can see that someone has one on sale now, and it's roughly around 1 billion. So they have control over that. If someone wants to compete and, you know, get on the ship and then sell it and undercut them, then that's on them. But yeah, you have control over the price once it starts to get extinct. And there's only a few of them. Like, if there's only like 3 items that cost like a billion, you can buy all 3 of these items and then sell it for a higher price, because now you have control of that particular item. And if someone really wants it, then they will have to deal with what you put down on the table. Now, if they want to go out of their way to barter with you, persuade you, try to get a discount or something, that's on you guys. But pretty much, this does lead up to the chance of getting a bunch of Meseta. This is a chance. And this goes back onto the term gambling, because you are gambling with this investment, which is good and or bad. Because the one thing that's going to kick in over here in the Japanese PSO2 especially is if they decide to do a revival. So going back to Bump, they had that, what is it? It happened on August 19th, 2020. They had this summer collab, or the summer new AC scratch. That thing kind of ruined one of the items that I had in my storage, because I just had it sitting there and I was going to sell it in due time. It was Aneta's Hair 2. That thing isn't as expensive anymore, because in the past it was going from like 22 million and was slowly building up to like 56 mil. If I typed it up right now, it might have increased over time, but you can see it's cheap. it's not as bad compared to back then. But yeah, the one thing I can tell you that will always give you a plus side is collab items from other video games and or animes. For example, I'm wearing the Final Fantasy XIV stuff, the Dark Knight. Guess what his base wear is? This is just a costume, a basic costume. It's not a layered outfit. Guess how much this thing costs? Over here, it costs 73 mil. Roughly around, let's jump it up to 74 mil. Yeah, 74 mil for this, which you can easily slap on and then you can resell again, but 74 mil. You might be saying, okay, Marv, how about the helmet? Note that this scratch was back in 2016, July 6th of 2016. So let me show you the helmet. This should be roughly around like 294 mil. Yeah, 294 mil. For the helmet. And if you want to account lock it, guess what? You get to have to buy 2, then it's going to cost a lot. I do have this account lock, I think. I did have a spare one, but I sold it in the past, like before it jumped up to those numbers. I should have kept it, in all honesty. So yeah, this is why you would want to invest in collab items. Now here's the one thing you gotta be careful of. If they do a collab item, if it ever gets a sequel, like anything that precedes or maybe they redefined it or something, it's gonna lead up to a revival in a way. Now, I don't know if Global will do revivals on their end. I don't see it yet. I haven't... I need to relook at their AC scratch, but yeah, they do have revivals over here in the Japanese PSO2, which will revive all the stuff that used to be rare. Now, there are a couple items that are just fucking gone. Like, there's no revivals whatsoever in the... what is it? Like, some of the stuff in 2014 and 15, even in 16, they don't get a revival. Yes, the Persona 1 got a revival, for example, because they got like the dancing Persona. Then I think it was Royal. It's the new one with that redhead chick. Yeah, they did a revival for that, so the Persona stuff wasn't as bad. But some of the older stuff, like we had a Godzilla collab. You could get his goddamn suit. That thing is actually expensive. You could, what is it? Yeah, Freedom Walls. We got this guy. We got fake stuff. We got like the Arya Shooter anime one. We got Irregular Magical High School. We got Hyper Dimension. Neptunia. We got Fairy Tail and stuff. Like some of these are old, and you guys haven't really touched some of that stuff. Let me go to I think I already have this pulled up. No, not that one. Let me show you like one of these lobby actions. Now this one was way back then in 2014, December 17, 2014. It's from I don't remember the name. Well, maybe that's the name of the anime. Once again, I'll have a video going into it, but if I go over here and show you guys what it looks like on the market. This thing is at fucking 10 billion. 394,999,998. In the past, this thing wasn't as bad. Like, it was only like 10 mil or 20 mil back then when it was released in episode 2, 3. So yeah, I kind of regret not buying this. Or making like smart investments in the past. Like, I hoarded a shit ton of money. But the problem with me was that I don't know why. I just like to hoard onto my fucking money like Krabs from SpongeBob hoarding onto his. But at the very least, I should have been like, wait a second. I could actually invest in these motherfuckers because they will most likely jump in value in the long run. Like, for the future. And guess what? Now they are. This lobby action that I keep on pulling up and I keep on using. This is a Freedom War lobby action. This thing... Someone decided to put one on the market over here and ship 2. There's only one of them. But this thing is at, where are you? No, I think this is something else. Yeah, that's something else. Let me exit out of that one. This thing is roughly around 9 billion. Like, I should have invested in this particular item. Because there was none, like, when I looked it up. Like, right now, I looked it up. Yeah, there's one on the market. But in the past, I didn't see this damn thing. This thing costs 9,500,000,000. So just keep that in mind. The point of this video is to emphasize on the fact that there's a reason to why some of these things are as they are. And also, I did I go into this? Yeah, I forgot to go into this one. So this one goes into what Global did. This is on Global, not on like the fact that it's scarce and stuff. No, this is on Global, because apparently from what the person told me, this outfit was actually tradable and you got it from the Fresh Shop. Now they decide to change up the Fresh Shop and then they add untradable to those Star Gym costumes and outfits. And then yeah, pretty much this is like before that change, that implement. And there's only a few now, so this is why it's at that price. Guess what? That thing isn't as expensive over here. It's not at that stupid price. Now, I had to use Chronopedia to figure out where the fuck this thing came from, and it's from an old scratch in 2014. It's from this one, the Celestial Luster, May 7th, 2014. Now, I do have to state something. Obviously, if you want to see what the price is, look in the description for the time skip. But someone in my video when I was talking about like the North America Battlepass decided to point out something that I was well aware of, which is the fact that they are kind of putting a bunch of these old outfits, accessories, and stuff into that Battlepass. So one, it can give people the choice and the chance to get some of these old items without having to do AC scratch. And secondly, yeah, it helps like free-to-plays, especially if you got a way to get Star Gems, and if you don't really want to gamble and go through RNG and stuff, like it gives you at least a concrete fixed method to get them. But lastly, the one point that I was looking for, and this person decided to say it, and I'm glad that they were able to do it, because that was the response I was looking for. They said that they were trying to, you know, get all the outfits and stuff, and the best way to speed this up would be through Battlepass. Like, we have a lot of AC scratch stuff that happened throughout the years, ever since 2012 all the way up to now. And can in a year, can Global PSO2 get all of these things? I don't think so, but if they're able to prove me wrong, then good on them. And the Battle Pass is allowing you to get most of these old items. Now, is it all? Not really. And can you get all the collab items especially? I'm not 100% sure because of what they might have to do over there to Global to get it. People were saying yes, it's possible. At the same time, like, can they really? Because at the rate you guys are going at, it's at a moderate pace. I'm impressed by it, but I don't think you guys can get all of them by when a year comes around. And when a year comes around, also note that NGS is going to be a thing, so there might be some things that won't ever be over there in Global unless they put it in NGS, but then they still need to get permissions. Like for the Freedom War stuff, for example, regular Magic High School, there's a lot of collabs. So that's entirely up to how Global decides to handle it. Yes, I get it. Japanese Sega PSO2 decides to allow the localization and stuff, but at the same time, there's a lot of underlying conditions that we aren't fucking aware of, because, you know, that's their business, that's their contracts and their conditionals and what ifs and their business crap. So, alright, enough of the stalling. Let me go into the actual price. So, that's the shadow one. That's at like fucking 1 billion. Guess what? Over here, nowhere close to that fucking number. Now, there is a low amount of them, which can jump up, but usually for a costume, it's not gonna go as high unless it's really fucking popular, like the Dark Knight outfit that I'm wearing. It's like what, 3/4 of a good 100 mil. Well, yeah, 3/4 of a good 100 mil. So yeah, this thing is only 4,200,000, and if you want to put it up on the market, if you have it, then you can, because this was an AC scratch originally. The outfit, that's the same outfit as this outfit that this person decided to screenshot me and show me. But once again, it's because of what Global did, which is pretty much a Fresh Shop exclusive item that was tradable before it became untradeable. So yeah, that's the reason why I can't really emphasize on a lot of things now. I know I advise some people some stuff, but just be cautious of these things that might happen in Global. Like the fact that I don't know if you guys are going to get revivals. If you guys get revivals, that is a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing, especially if you invest a lot in a particular item that's not going to be sold at that high price anymore because they did a revival. That is it with this video, though. If you have any question, comment, concerns, put it down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.